Ickworth House in Suffolk was built between 1795 and 1829, and it was the creation of Frederick Harvey, who was the 4th Earl of Bristol and Bishop of Derry. The walled garden originated as an 18th century leisure garden, eventually to become a 20th century working kitchen garden. And it was the stunning colour in the walled garden that really grabbed my attention. I prepared the canvas first of all by putting just a primer on the canvas, just to give it a nice white finish and a nice surface for painting on. And then I just started doing the sky, doing the background sky first. Now, I didn't want just a plain blue sky. I wanted to put a bit of drama in there. And it was partially cloudy day, and the one thing Suffolk is known for is its big skies, because it's such flat land. So I wanted to add different contours of colour in there. Different shapes, putting the dark of the clouds in as well. Clouds add a lot of drama, I always think, to a painting, and it's I think it's a case of just playing around with the different forms and adding different colours until you get the look that really you're after. And that was the case in this. As you can see, I've just sped this bit up just to condense it all into a more reasonable length of time. Okay, so, and then what I did was, really you've got three parts of the painting. You've got the sky, you've got the background, and then you've got the foreground. And it was just building up those three parts of the painting initially. So we had fields in the background with a tree line, and then it was a colourful meadow in the foreground, and I just wanted to create a bit of form in there to start with, some colour. And then there was a little house. I think it helped to break the painting up as well, but there was a little house in that position where I'm painting it now, that I'm just adding on. And I've just started to add a bit of foreground interest, a few of those wild meadow flowers, and putting some more trees in. There was daisies and as far as the wild flowers, there was sort of daisies, poppies, cornflowers. There was all sorts. I mean, it was absolutely an amazing array of colour, as you saw from the original photograph. It actually might be worth noting that the walled garden is currently being returned to its early 20th century appearance, when it was a thriving kitchen garden. And the National Trust, who own the property, are restoring it to full working order, with the growing fruit and veg, which is going to supply the cafes on the estate, which is really good news. So yeah, just dabbing in more layers, more shades, starting to take form, adding in some of the little flowers. And this is sort of where I left it on day one, having got that done originally. Okay, day 2 of painting. So if the paint is dried, I put the preliminary, everything is basically where I want it, but it just, I think the colour just looks a bit flat, that the colour is dried, and there's a few bits and pieces that just need tidying up. I need a few more highlights in there because it really, nothing sort of jumps out at you. So I'm going to see what I can, if I can do anything to sort of improve it and make it look a bit better. And to be honest with you, I don't know where it's going to go. Let's just see what happens, I suppose, is the solution. So what I've done is I've added green, and what you do for highlight colour, you just add the next colour up on the colour wheel, which is yellow, and if need me add a bit of white just to give it a bit of extra brightness. So that's what I'm experimenting with. I don't know if this will work, putting a bit of extra white in there as well just to see what happens. And then as it gets to the foreground, I'm going to darken the green. And so to darken the green, you add the next colour down the colour wheel, so you get your green, and in this case it would be just a little bit of blue. I don't really want to do anything much more to this, I think. There is the danger of overworking it, and I hate looking at a painting and thinking, oh no, I should have stopped this ages ago, I let this go too far. Sometimes if it doesn't look how you want it to look, sometimes I think the best thing is to start it again, rather than spend time doing the touching over it and possibly making it worse. Well, sometimes you can make it look just too messy. And I don't want to reach that stage. I'd be very disappointed if I let it get to that point where I think, oh no, I've ruined it. I think what I should do is highlight, certainly there's some nice purple flowers on the original, pink, gorgeous pink flowers. I think I should do something about that. I'm being really bold now because I just think that the painting still looks very flat. So I'm going to be really play it dangerous, and I'm going to chuck in a lot of dark colour. I'm just going to pad it in here at the bottom just to add contrast, because as I say, the painting just looks very flat at the moment and I want there to be clear, you know, that lack of perspective. So I'm just really dabbing in a bit of darkness in here. You've got to stick with it. I think it'll lift it. Just adding this and then maybe just lightening it as you go up the painting. Hopefully all will become clear in a little while. I hope so. Right, I might just let that dry for a little bit and see what happens. I think the final touches of this, as I say, I'm not going to do much more to it, is just to get the feeling of long, random strands of grass in there, so I'm just literally using a palette knife. And by giving the knife even a little bit of a twist, you can get different. You can give the painting some contour by putting clumps of paint in there that will almost give it like a 3D effect. Just a few random wild flowers in there just to round things off a bit. I'm just going to put in a bit of colour. Right, I'm going to declare this painting finished. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything more to it. I think I've taken it as far as I'm going to go. I'm pretty happy with that. Of course, I might change my mind eventually.